and get through this semi-quickly. So there's kind of what we're going to be looking at. I said it was 3 sections. It's kind of partial of 2 sections and 1 complete section that we're going to talk about. And the first one is in Chapter 2, Section 2. It's stuff about circles. And what we're going to be dealing with is the equation of a circle. And one of the objectives in this course is to learn about the equation of a circle, and then really not much else about circles. They're not something that you're going to encounter a ton in well, most of you are probably not going to be taking many other math classes other than this. But the equation of a circle has this form. That's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Okay. Now, a lot of stuff in there. What's it mean? Well, it means it has a center at the ordered pair h, k, and the radius is r. Okay. And the equation has r squared in it, so we got to think about square roots and things like that when we talk about the radius of that. So the center is at hk. In geometry class in high school, the definition of a circle is all the points that are equidistant from one point. That one point is the center. So that equation, the center and then the radius, tells you how far those points are away from it. Those are the important parts of a circle. So that's really the only parts we really care about on this. So what we want to be able to do is pull the center out of an equation and the radius out of it. So given an equation that's in this form, tell me what the center of the circle is. Tell me what the radius of the circle is. If you can do that, then we're going to be good, okay? So example A, find the center and radius of x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 16. Okay. So the center, 5, 3. Straightforward. It's the opposite of whatever's in there. So if it's x minus 5, it's going to be positive 5. If it were x plus 5, it'd be negative 5. Okay. The radius, not quite as straightforward. We got to think about what squared gives me 16. So I just need to think, what's the square root of 16? 4. That's the radius length for that based on that equation. Okay. So we're going to go in this direction first where we have the equation. We're going to find the center and the radius. And then we're going to go to the other direction in just a minute where we're given a center and a radius, and they tell us to write the equation. That's really all we're doing with this section. Example B, same instructions. Let's use x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 36. Good number. What's the center? Negative 3, positive 4. What's the radius? 6. Square root of 36 is 6. We're only using the positive square root there because we're talking about a radius, and that's a distance. Distance is always positive. So it's always the opposite of what's in the parentheses. So if it's x plus 3, it's going to be a negative 3. And if it's if in y minus 4, it's a positive 4. That's always the opposite of what's in the parentheses. Okay. Let's look at this one. Same instructions. A little bit different. X squared plus y plus 7 squared is equal to 12. So we want to find the center and the radius. What's the center of this one? If there's nothing there, it's got to be 0 and then a -7. If it's not there, it's a 0. So nothing in there with the x, so it's a 0. And then the y opposite of +7 is a -7. The radius would be the square root of 12, which if we think about breaking that down, it would be 2 radical 3, which is what as a decimal, approximately. Go to calculator, I go square root of 12. Yeah, 2 decimal places would be great. 3.46. So 2 radical 3, and the decimal equivalent would be almost 3.5 out of that. Okay. Not bad. So that's going from the equation giving me the radius and the center out of that. So let's go the other direction, and let's write the equation of a circle with radius of 7 and center at 6, 8. So I know it's going to have this stuff. What goes in there with the x? -6 and -8 in there with the y. What's over here on the equals? 49. Good job. And there's the equation of the circle that has a center at 6, 8 and a radius of 7. Same instructions, write the equation of the circle with the center at -13, +5 with radius of the square root of 8. So I know it's going to look like that. What goes in there with the x? Yeah, +13. In there with the y would be -5. What's it equal to? Square root of 8 and square it. It would just be 8. Because it turns into the square root of 64, which is 8. Is the reason that. Yeah, it's just 8, yeah. Really not much else to this section. That's what we need out of circles for this particular course. Okay? So very, very simple thing with that first section. I'll go ahead and write the suggested problem for that so you can just have it. Page 185, 1 through 12 out of that section. No, I'm not doing any of the others out of that section. Okay. All right, let me